So, here we have it. One second. Let's try it one more time, see if it's not blurry, or if it's more blurry. There we go. So, welcome to the HWL Season 6 playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. For our first match, we will have BBB Chief taking on CC Ondjage. They'll be playing Greenskins and Norska respectively, and Chief, as you can see in his little flag icon, hails from Spain, while Ondjage will be hailing from Norway. Now let's get in here and see what the players have brought for us, shall we? Over here, let me make sure my controls are at a good place. I just want to keep my camera nice and smooth. And here we go. Starting with our blue player Chief, we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular old units of goblins. They're going to be backed up by orc boys. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 of these orc boys. And then we're going to have stone trolls. Looks like 4 of them. Thank you so much for the subscription, ODM Zara. Yes, it does indeed work now. Behind these trolls, we're going to have Gobble Wolf Riders. Looks like 4 of them. And they're going to be the archer variant. We're going to have, looks like 2 Goblin Big Bosses on foot. Both of them will have They Needs a Stabbin'. And then Azag the Slaughterer up in the air, if I can find him. There he is, the one, the only, beautiful Azag the Slaughterer. He's going to be bringing a lot with him. Azag's Ard Armor, Foe Seeker, Spirit Leech. We got Slaga's Slashes, so both of these very powerful buffs in an AoE effect. We got Life Leeching. And then for the Norskins, let's take a look at see what Ondjage has brought. A fitting faction considering he is from Norway. Marauder Berserkers, looks like we're going to have 4 of them. One of them will be the Brutes of the Hound, ROR. In the center, we have a unit of Marauder Champions, so some heavy infantry here, heavy-duty infantry. Got Marauders on the left flank and right flank. And then for the large units here, we're going to have Norskan Ice Wolves, one on either flank, with Armored Skin Wolves, including the Regiment of Renown Maws of Savagery, who have armor-piercing damage. We got a Shaman Sorcerer of Death. Looks like they're getting Spirit Leech by Azag, and he has Spirit Leech, as well as Aspect of the Dread Knight, I believe? No, Doom and Darkness. And then we have Wolfric the Wanderer on top, his big old mammoth. He's got Sea Fang and Foe Seeker. So taking a higher level view of the battle so we can kind of see how this battle is shaping up. It looks like the Greenskin's going to take full advantage of their missile monopoly on the field of battle. The Norskan Ice Wolves and the Skin Wolves are going to be coming out to chase them off. A nice tool here being utilized by Ondjage, pushing out on either side and helping screen their main force, because these Marauder Berserkers are going to be very, very susceptible to that missile fire since they have little to no armor. Now he's pushing the Marauders up front. Another nice move here, using these shielded infantry that are very, very cheap to push forward and soak up some of that damage while preventing the Marauders from taking it. However, the Shaman Sorcerer of Death is already in a bad spot, down below half health, and Azag is just continuing to Spirit Leech him. And it doesn't look like Azag has been Spirit Leeched in return. An interesting decision. I figured that's where those Spirit Leeches would be going. Alright, it looks like the gap has been closed. The Marauder Berserkers are diving into the Goblins, and they're going to make quick work of them. However, this back line of Orc Boys and Stone Trolls is going to be very, very interesting to see how they fare here. I think the Maws of Savagery shouldn't have any trouble killing off these armored trolls, but we'll see what happens. Look at this. He's going to be, go ahead, he's hitting them in the back, just kind of doing a nice wraparound flank. And we'll see how the Norskins do. But so far, balance of power dead even. But the Trolls and the Greenskin Goblins are doing a good job in synergy with each other. Over here, some Marauder Berserkers getting completely surrounded by 4 Greenskin units and trampled down. We're going to see these Marauders have already run away. And now we're going to be seeing over here a big fat Doom and Darkness upgraded going down on top of the Greenskins. And that center part of their line has just absolutely crumpled out of existence. Stone Trolls routing out of there, a lot of Greenskin infantry routing out of there, and even Azag taking some damage and getting pressured right now by Norskan Ice Wolves and the Maws of Savagery. Is BBB Chief in trouble? I'm not sure. There he goes, getting up in the air, and we'll see what happens from here. A Spirit Leech was cast down on top of Azag. Wah has been popped for the Greenskins, which is going to shore up their leadership quite a lot. And we'll see who takes it from here. But right now, seems like the Skin Wolves are doing very well for themselves. And there goes a Seafang. Where's it going to go? Oh, right through this pocket of Greenskins here. It's going to leave a trail of carnage in its wake. All right, Azag the Slaughterer pushing forward. And we'll see what he tries to do. There goes another Spirit Leech. I think that's going to be the last Spirit Leech needed to kill off that Shaman Sorcerer from Norska for good. And that's a big loss for the Norskins, but they are crawling ahead in the balance of power, as you can see. But losing magic is always a painful thing to see. That's a lot of potential damage, and those Doom and Darknesses are going to be very important, as you just saw. It got a huge chain route there in the center. Meanwhile, we're going to see the Goblin Big Bosses not doing too well for themselves. It looks like the Norskin Infantry is just kind of bulldozing them with the help of Wulfric, and I don't know, things are starting to look pretty rough for the Greenskins right now. Looks like the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers have already used all their ammunition. Surprising. They must have been on fire at will, because we're less than 5 minutes into the battle and they're already out of ammunition. So we'll see what happens. But right now, it just looks like Wulfric the Wanderer is going to be unstoppable. I have to say it. You know, he is nearly full health. That's 10,000 HP almost. And the Greenskins are running out of tools to deal with him. Azag can't take him down in a one-on-one fight. You're not going to be seeing the Goblin Big Bosses doing too well because they're infantry, and he has a big bonus versus infantry. And I'm just looking across the Greenskin lines, and I'm struggling to see what they have here that can take out Wulfric, let alone the Skin Wolves. So, don't want to count anybody out yet, though. Chief has a tenacious nature about him, and he's known to pull back from pretty insurmountable odds. But right now, Norska's looking stronger and stronger by the minute. Greenskin forces starting to regroup on the peripheries of the battlefield. That's always a very important thing for a Greenskin player, is we'll see if he can regroup his forces, try to get them into a formation, get their flank secure, shore up their leadership, and maybe, just maybe, he can get something going from there. But right now, the balance of power is still creeping further and further out of hand for him. We have both of the Armored Skin Wolves chasing down these trolls. Azag's trying to come over here to support, but I think he recognizes that if he tries to land to help these trolls, he's going to get killed by the Skin Wolf, so he's going to abandon that, and the trolls are just going to get killed off, and in come the Skin Wolves. These Armored Skin Wolves proving to be a very nice pick against the Greenskins. Over here, Wulfric continuing to just bulldoze everything in the Greenskin army. And there goes a Seafang, and oh, it missed its target. A nice dodge by Chief. And those Orc boys, though, are going to be getting a nice rear charge into the Marauders and the Marauder Champions. And these Marauder Champions just so dang tanky, doing so well for themselves. Going to be seeing Wulfric with They Need Stabbing, as well as Spirit Leech pop down on top of them. He's going to take a bit of damage there, so a nice little dish out of damage from the Greenskins, but once again, his HP pool is just so huge, you know, even taking 1,500 damage almost brings him down to, you know, a mere 8,800 hit points, so, you know, still a lot to chew through. But looking across the field, you know, the Greenskins are doing a good job, as I mentioned earlier, getting regrouped. They're taking care of the isolated pockets of Norskins. But on the other hand, Ondjage is playing it very, very well in terms of recognizing what his win conditions are. Right now, his win conditions are Wulfric and these Skin Wolves, and the Skin Wolves and Wulfric are all very, very healthy. Looks like Wulfric's going in after the Goblin Big Boss. Azag's Ard armor has been popped, increasing the armor and melee defense of all of the Greenskin allies within range of him. I guess we'll see what happens here, though. This could be the moment Azag overextended, and if Wulfric gets another big hit on him, it could be game over. Looks like the Skin Wolves are the only things focusing on him now. Azag's desperately trying to pull out, but the mass of the Skin Wolves is not making it easy, and I think this is going to be it. This is going to be the GG, and Ondjage is going to show he still has it, taking the first round here from BBB Chief. Now, was the sound okay? Was the the visuals okay? Please let me know. I want to make sure today looks good for you guys. It's a special occasion after all. But what a first match. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and well played to both of these guys. Interesting armors, great time. Alright, back to the battle here. So yeah, I mean, looking at this, BBB Chief definitely had the numbers on his side, but I think what's clear here is, you know, the goblins, I love goblins, and I find them to be very useful in a lot of matchups, but unfortunately against the Norskins, it's just, it's fodder, and not in a way that the fodder will actually buy much time, because Berserkers will shred them. One big charge from a Mammoth will terror out them, and it turns out the Stone Trolls just really didn't work out that well. I do think the Greenskins had a moment, you know, I think they had a potential to win this game for sure. I don't think this was lost in the drawing boards. And I do think the play of that game goes to Ondjage. When he threw down that Overcast Doom and Darkness on top of that big fat center engagement, that to me was when the Greenskins had their back broken and they were trying to play catch up from that moment forward. That Doom and Darkness really setting the pace for the rest of the battle from there. And I liked seeing it there because so often you see people just rely on the offensive magic, just the Spirit Leech or anything, and I'm not judging. When I bring Azad the Slaughter, I only bring Spirit Leech. But the fact that Ondjage had that Doom and Darkness in his arsenal really, really made a huge difference, especially since the Shaman Sorcerer got killed very quickly in the battle. He still got a ton of value by casting that Doom and Darkness before he died. If he just would have had Spirit Leech, I don't think he would have had nearly the impact that he did on this fight. And I just really like the Norscan army here. You know, one heavy elite unit of infantry being the Marauder Champions. You have the unbreakable Broods of the Hound. Marauder Berserkers will just do well against pretty much any greenskin infantry besides Black Orcs. And even that is not a cost-efficient trade for Black Orcs. And then the Marauders for the chaff, but really here are the MVPs, these Skin Wolves, just going untouched and just laying down all of the killing power, knocking out troll after troll, and doing a lot of really good work. So a great first game. Let's see what happens in round 2. Okay, here we are. The map is Wyvern Lake, and let's throw up that intro card. So ladies and gentlemen, here we are in round 2 of this best of 3 between BBB Chief and CC Ondjage. We're going to have the Lizardmen taking on the Greenskins respectively. And once again, just as a reminder, we have Chief representing Spain and Ondjage representing Norway. So let's see who comes out on top. Sorv 2-0'd Hadres. Wow. Well, there you have it. Congrats to Sorv. Hadres is a wonderful player, so that's impressive. Alright, well this time around, let's start with our red player who is on his match point, Ondjage. And we are going to see an army I quite like so far. 4 Goblin Spider Rider Archers and Magram's Mangy Marauders, the armor-piercing Goblin Wolf Archer variant. We got the Rusty Heirs here as well. And then for the infantry, an interesting assortment here. So it looks like we have Orc Boys, 1, 2, and 3 of them. We're going to have 2 just regular old Gobos by the looks of it. Have some Orc Error Boys for some additional firepower. And then it looks like a lot of this army is getting deployed in the forest, including 2 Orc Biggins that I initially missed. We have the 8-Peak Loonies Unbreakable Night Goblins. Other than this, we're also going to be seeing what appears to be 2 units of Stone Trolls on top of the Biggins. That will be a very potent combination. Anti-large infantry with the mass of the Stone Trolls. And then for the leadership, making sure I'm not missing anything else here, and it doesn't look like it, we have a giant River Troll Hag. Where the hell did she just go? River Troll Hag, why are you making it difficult for me? Alright, I think I'm blind. Okay, never mind. There she is with her bag of filth. We're going to have Mither, as well as Doom and Darkness, and Spirit Leech with Life Leeching on top of her Skull Bra, which cracks me up endlessly. Now, for the general, we're going to be seeing this army led by none other than Skarsnik with his giant cave squig Gobla. Skarsnik is going to have fermented fungi as well as get back here, and that will be all. He is an anti-large hero with poison damage, and he has a surprising amount of mass, which is, you know, representative of his giant cave squig that he keeps with him at all times. Now, for the lizardmen, we're going to be seeing a front line with a lot of skink power. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chameleon skinks. Aside from those chameleon skinks, we are going to be seeing skink cohort. Looks like 1, 2, 3 of them, and then 4 of them with javelins. He is going to be bringing Cold One Spear Riders over here on the right flank. They're in the forest remaining hidden for now, seeing what's they're up against. And then we're going to have a second one over here on the left flank. Behind them, we're going to have... Oh, just kidding, not even behind them. To the side of them, we're going to have the monsters here. It's going to be a Feral Carnosaur, along with the Bastillodon with a solar engine. And then we have a good old Salon Mage Priest of Life. He's going to be bringing Shield of the Old Ones, R of Quetzal, Blood Statuette of Spite, Banishment, as well as Earthblood and Arcane Conduit. And make that a greater Arcane Conduit because he's a Salon. So, starting off with some initial skirmishing, and it looks like to me that the Norskins have the skirmishing very much in their favor, and it looks like Ondjage is recognizing that as well, and he's going to start pushing out from the forest. I think recognizing the solar engine plus the chameleon skinks he's seen so far are going to force him to come forward because his 2 mobile skirmishers are not going to be enough to counter them. Over here in the back, a unit I did miss is going to be the Broken Tusk Mob, the Regiment of Renown Orc Boar Boy Biggins. And these guys are some heavy-hitting cav, and we'll see how they're utilized. Got to be careful. They aren't squishy, I would say, but if you get a Carnosaur on top of them, they can go down pretty quickly. Not in the banner rule set, I believe, Apache. I can double check that afterwards, but I believe they have the 8-unit variant cap on top of them. Alright. You can see the Broken Tusk Mob getting targeted right now. They have 100 armor, so they're not taking the most damage. And it looks like we're just going to see these guys going all out to get on top of them and catch them. Broken Tusk Mob, though, is taking a lot of damage, and now they're turning around, which is probably going to open them up to even more damage. Chameleon Skinks getting attacked here by the 2 skirmish forces, but we have Cold One Spear Riders coming out to counter that, and these guys are going to need to turn tail and run. Over here, we're going to be seeing the Goblins getting shot to pieces by the Skink cohort and the Chameleon Skinks, and you can see that the Lizardmen have just made a nice concave formation, and they have surrounded this right flank of the Greenskins, and they're just firing in damage from all angles, and we'll see what happens from here. But so far the Greenskins look like they're off to a precarious start. A little bit of blobbing going on here. Would have liked to have seen those infantry units split up a bit. A banishment going down, and it's going to land on top of these orc boys and do quite a lot of damage. About half health going off of them in a matter of seconds. But now that the Greenskins have closed that front line engagement, they're up against a lot of infantry that they are going to absolutely crump. And it's really a matter of if the Chameleon Skinks and the Skink cohort with javelins can shoot down the Greenskins quickly enough to prevent them from bulldozing the front line and going on to victory, which I'm not sure they'll be able to do right now. Over here we see the Cold One Spear Riders diving forward, the Stone Trolls pulling back and allowing the Orc Biggins to take that charge, and then I imagine they'll turn back around very soon here, and we're going to see the Greenskin Archer units start applying pressure of their own here on top of the Bastillodon with the Solar Engine. The Broken Tusk Mob is coming in to get in an engagement here with the Cold One Spear Riders. Shield of the Old Ones going down, but right now Greenskins are starting to look stronger as this battle progresses. Maybe I'm crazy, but it just seems like the Lizardman army here is really relying on skirmishing to win the fight, and the Greenskins are just kind of ignoring that skirmishing and pushing through to kill the important units. One unit of Cold One Spear Riders has already been dealt with. Another unit is down to half health. Wah has just been popped, so we'll see how that does. And the Chameleon Skinks aren't going to be able to kill everything by themselves. Over here, looks like we're seeing the Feral Carnosaur getting focused now. And oh no! Look at where this Feral Carnosaur is. It is not in the best of positions at all. It has got a Cold-Blooded and an Earth-Blood upgraded going down on top of it, so that should shore up its leadership and keep it in the fight. And so we'll see. This could very much turn against the Greenskins very quickly if the terror route kicks in on some of these units. But Skarsnik is nearby. He's in the pocket. So is the giant River Troll Hag. There goes a Spirit Leech. And this Feral Carnosaur, if it goes down, I think the Lizardman army goes down with it. And not looking too good. There it goes. It got the fermented fungi. It's rampaging in place. Another Spirit Leech on it. Now it's routing, but it's still taking a lot of damage. And even the Slann Mage Priest is in combat now, but the problem is he's in combat with little to no support. In comes some Cold One Spear Riders to provide that cushion for him, to help him out. But the Greenskins very nicely being microed very nicely. You're going to see these Mogrim's Mangy Marauders and Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers chasing the routing Carnosaur, and I don't think he's going to be able to come back. Nothing is going to continue to... Oh, wait. Are they going to keep chasing him? If they don't keep the chase up, he'll come back, and that is going to be a very big loss for the Greenskins if they don't finish off that Feral Carnosaur here and now. Looking across the battlefield, though, the Lizardmen are just looking more and more tattered. Got Stone Trolls here with the help of the Night Goblins, the 8-Peak Loonies, some Orc Biggins. And now once those Stone Trolls turn their attention to this Bastillodon with the Solar Engine, I think that Solar Engine is going to go down for the count here, and there's no way it can escape. The mass is there holding it in place. Feral Carnosaur continuing to get chased right now by the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, who have a Wah popped. And yeah, he's on the edge of the map. Will he turn around in time, or is he off the map? Oh, it's looking like he's gone. Oh! Wouldn't you know it, guys? He turned around right at the last second, but alas, it's going to be a concession. And BBB Chief is going to concede defeat to Ondjage. And we're going to see a 2-0 victory going to Ondjage. He still got it, guys. As I mentioned, and I can't emphasize enough, Chief, in my opinion, is one of the top players in the world. And Ondjage, even though he's coming out of retirement, so to speak, was able to defeat him 2-0. And not just 2-0, but with the Greenskins there. I like this Greenskin army a lot. Has a lot of interesting tools in it. And I just think BBB Chief really, he gambled in this fight. He was gambling, hoping to skirmish the Greenskins to death, and it just didn't pay off. As you saw there, initially it was going quite well for them. They were getting a lot of damage in. But as soon as the Greenskins closed that line, or closed that gap, it was rough going from there, and they were just able to start chewing through this Lizardman army piece by piece. Crabling versus Random Nicks. Nice. Okay, so I guess we'll just let them play since we've already had Soothsayer waiting. And then we can hold another one after that. But yeah, great games to both of these players. Chief, I love you, buddy. You're a wonderful player. And yeah, sorry to see you going so early, but you know, no shame in losing to Ondjage. He is one of the greats clearly, and he still got it, guys. So moving on from there, let's go watch Tloxlan Soothsayer take on Bilbo Baggos.